All right. Thank you so much for joining in, everyone. This is part 4 of our 4-part series on embodiment for immunity and resilience. And I'm Emily Winter, Somatic Experiencing Practitioner. So, this series is all about embodiment, which to me really means that moment to moment ability to just tune into what's happening in your nervous system and your body and with your felt sense and with your emotions so that you can know how you're doing, what you might need for safety or for settling in that moment, and so that you can then have a choice to maybe do something, use a tool, breathing exercise, a grounding practice to actually support regulation of your nervous system. So that was the whole premise of this series, and we've been exploring different practices to help settle and relax our nervous systems through different parts of the body. And we've explored working with heart in part 1. We played with our hands and our feet. Then we did our spine last week. And this week we're going to be exploring exercises to tune into our bodies and support our nervous system through our eyes. So I do want to make a few notes. I said this before I started the recording, but for anyone watching the recording, you might want to have 1 or 2 firm pillows with you today that you can put on your lap at a certain point in our practice. You might want those pillows, 1 or 2 pillows, just to help support your elbows for a practice that we're going to do a little bit later. So if you're watching the recording, you can just pause for the video and go grab a pillow or 2, bring them next to you. And I'll invite all of you just to find a comfortable seat, whatever that means in your body. Maybe you're sitting up tall on the floor, just with a straight spine. Maybe you're relaxing on a couch or in a big comfy chair, or maybe you're even reclining. Just invite you to try to make yourself comfortable for the duration of our experience together today. So, a few notes about our practice today. We are working with the eyes. So for anyone who wears glasses or contacts, if you have glasses on, I'm going to give you the option today to take your glasses off when we start doing the exercises and just explore what it's like to practice these exercises without that accessory and get curious about how your eyes respond without glasses on. If you are wearing contacts, don't worry about removing them for today, but you might watch the recording again at another time and explore how these exercises might feel differently to you without your contact lenses in. And then, of course, for anyone participating at any point who has lost an eye, lost vision in one or both eyes, or has some visual impairment, I just invite you to participate as much as you feel comfortable today. You might be surprised by how much awareness and sensation is actually available to you, even if you have experienced some loss of your vision due to whatever reason. So bring some curiosity to your experience. And, for anyone, if at any point any of these exercises start to make you feel a little activated inside, or maybe things start to feel a bit intense up in your head from playing around with your eyes and your vision, then just for everyone, I invite you to let yourself take a moment of rest from our experience together. Just let your eyes relax, let your gaze move down or your eyes close, and just allow yourself a little break from whatever exercise you've been participating in. Then you can just rejoin whenever it feels comfortable for you. It's not uncommon working with our eyes that there might be some activation or some interesting or new or uncomfortable sensations that come up, because there's a lot of energy in our visual system. There's a lot of energy in our brain right behind our eyes. And unlike these other parts of the nervous system we've been exploring, like our hands, our feet, our spine, your eyes are right up here in your head. So it'll be an interesting experience to play with embodiment through our eyes, getting into our body, getting into our nervous system through our vision, through something that's up here in our head, which we often think of as just more of a mental space. All right, just a little introduction to why we're going to work with the eyes and why the eyes are so important to our felt sense of safety and to our nervous system. Your eyes are part of your central nervous system. We often just think of the central nervous system as being a brain and the spinal cord, but it also includes the retinas of your eyes. So the retinas of your eyes they're very thin film of tissue along the backs of your eyes. And the retinas are just really incredible to me because they receive light, energy in the form of light, and they convert light into signals, neural signals, and messages that are then interpreted by your brain. So our retinas play a really important role in, how we pick up images, how we pick up color, things like that. And it can have a direct effect on our nervous system. Our vision, how we're using our vision can have a direct effect on what's happening in our nervous system in that moment. If the eyes are relaxed and the vision is broad and open and can move to the periphery, there's likely more of a settling and a relaxation happening in the nervous system. But if we're kind of getting hypervigilant and our eyes are popping out a bit and we might find that kind of tunnel vision experience, then that also tells us something else is happening in our nervous system. So today we'll explore some eye exercises from Somatic Experiencing and also some yoga eye poses, yoga eye exercises. And these exercises are meant to have a variety of effects on your nervous system. Several of the exercises we're going to do together help to strengthen your eye muscles, help to strengthen your vision over time. They can help to relax the muscles around your eyes that can get very strained and fatigued from staring at screens all the time, for example. And they can also support a general settling and relaxation in your overall nervous system, lowering your heart rate, lowering your breathing rate, helping you feel a bit more present. So we'll just be exploring things visually together today. And before we begin playing with our eyes, I'm going to invite everyone to just join me for some gentle movement, because our eyes are connected through nervous tissue, connective tissue, and muscular tissue to our neck, our shoulders, and through those parts to all other parts of our body. So just to invite a little movement can help us feel more sensation, experience more of what's happening in our bodies below the neck, and also help to maybe soften and start to open up some of these structures that do affect your vision, but that might be a little bit tight or tense. So first, just bring both your feet onto the floor if you are seated in a chair so that you can just sense the floor underneath you and have a little sense of grounding. As we begin, you can feel free to just let your back continue to relax if it's against the back of your chair. And for right now, you might just let your eyes close or allow your gaze to soften down toward your lap. Your hands might be clasped in your lap or hands resting on your thighs. Take a moment just to notice your breathing without changing your breath. Simply notice. And if you'd like, you might start to lengthen your breath slowly, gradually. Letting your jaw relax by allowing your lower teeth to separate from your upper teeth. And gently start to lower your chin forward toward your chest. Allow your shoulders to stay as soft as possible on your back. Just gently stretching the back of your neck. Now, moving really gradually and slowly, we'll begin to roll your head from side to side. So just gently stretching into all of those muscles and tissues on each side of your neck. Roll your head up to the right, then back down through center, and up through the left side. Being curious here, just kind of exploring how that stretch moves through your neck and shoulders. If you like a small movement or a large movement. And then start to lower your chin back to the center of your chest. And from there, gently bring your head back up to a neutral place, keeping your neck long, your shoulders relaxed. And just taking a deeper breath. Let's find some rolls through our shoulders. Draw your shoulders gently forward and up toward your ears. And then open across your chest and bring your shoulders down your back. I like to rest my hands on my thighs so I can just let my hands move up and down my thighs as they want to, as I'm rolling my shoulders. Just checking in with your jaw as you continue to move. Can you allow a little more relaxation in your jaw? Perhaps find some movement with your lower jaw. And start to let your shoulders relax. Still keeping your gaze down or your eyes closed. I'll invite you to take this moment just to check in lightly with your body and see how this movement is affecting you at all, if at all. And some things you might notice are the quality of your breath or different sensations happening. There might be a sense of temperature. All right, I'll invite us through just a few more movements through our spine. Again, the eyes connect back to the muscles on the back of your neck, the back of your head. So we really want to help to open up through the neck, the shoulders, and the spine. So I'll invite you to sit up a bit taller, coming away from the back of your chair for a moment, and just allowing your sits bones to support you with your shoulders stacking above your hips, creating a nice tall spine. And let's find some gentle flexion and extension with your spine. So you can start by just rounding your shoulders, drawing your heart in, and tucking your chin. And you can round forward in your back any amount that feels comfortable for you today. And then when you're ready, start to slowly create the opposite shape, lifting your heart, finding a gentle arch in your back. You can draw your shoulders back, and if it's okay in your neck, start to lift your gaze up toward the ceiling. And then I'll invite you to find a few more, just going at your own pace. And you can involve as much of your spine or as little of your spine in this movement as you'd like. All right, let's start to come back into a neutral spine, but still sitting up tall away from the back of your chair. And from here, we'll just find a really gentle twist. So you can twist to either side that you'd like. We'll do both. Start to twist in your upper body. You might rest one arm across the back of your chair. And take your opposite hand across to your thigh. And just gently twist your upper body. Now I'll invite you here not to really twist your neck that much. Instead, keep your chin in line with the center of your chest. And just let your eyes move all the way to the corner of that direction that you're twisting in. So if you're twisting to the right, gaze all the way to the right with your eyes. Opposite on the left side. Let's take another breath. You might find a deeper breath. And slowly let yourself unwind your gaze down at your lap or your eyes closed. And just make your way into the other side. Just finding that same shape, keeping your spine tall. Just allowing your gaze to slowly move in the direction of your twist. And taking one more breath and gently unwind. And you can feel free to continue sitting up tall if you like how this feels, having a bit more of a lift in your heart and from the crown of your head. Or if it suits you better today, to just let yourself relax back in your chair or against your couch or whatever you're supported by. Just make yourself comfortable. You might find a few breaths here, just feeling again into your body and noticing how you're doing in this moment. And as a reminder, there's no wrong answer to that because this embodiment practice is about doing self-inquiry and just bringing awareness to your internal state over and over again as it continues to shift. So we'll begin to explore some exercises using our vision. And again, I just want to offer that if at any point it feels like a bit too much or uncomfortable, just let yourself take a rest. Sometimes these eye exercises can feel really interesting or relaxing. Sometimes they can bring up a lot of energy. And so if that happens, just let yourself take a breather. I'm going to talk about orienting for a moment. And if you've practiced somatic experiencing with me, then you've done orienting with me before, because this is a really key part of our nervous system and our nervous system's response to threat and to safety. And it has a lot to do with our vision and our eyes. And there are two types of orienting. Well, let me talk about what orienting is. Orienting is this instinctual response that we and all mammals have, all animals have. When we get into a new environment, it's the first thing that you do without even thinking about it. You look around and you take in the space. And what's happening there is you're subconsciously scanning the new environment for threat, yes, and also for safety and what's a resource in that environment. So it's just something that happens automatically for all of us, but through this embodiment practice, we're going to bring some awareness to our orienting instinct and how we're orienting and what effect that has in turn on our physiology and on our felt sense in our bodies. So we'll talk for a moment about defensive versus exploratory orienting. Defensive orienting, an example of this is if you're sitting and relaxing and you suddenly hear a loud, unexpected noise out your door, you instinctually turn and look in that direction. But you turn and look with a little bit of bracing in your body, a little bit of tension. Right? There's a little shock or startle in the eyes where we're tuning in really quickly to something that might be a threat. Right? We're looking defensively. What is that? Do I need to protect myself? And sometimes we can kind of get stuck in that starey, defensive orienting place with our vision all the time and not even be realizing it. Where if we're carrying a lot of stress or anxiety in our system, or we feel kind of stuck in our stress or in our anxiety, it's not uncommon to start to look for the threats unconsciously and start to scan first for what's dangerous. And suddenly everything starts to seem threatening and everything starts to seem dangerous. So we can support our nervous system to start to shift out of that state by opening up our vision in a different way and doing what's called exploratory orienting, which is looking around for the resources and the safety and the things that you like and that you enjoy in the environment that you're in. So I'm going to invite you again just to notice how you're sitting and make sure that you're comfortable, because you want to feel as comfortable as you can in your body. And then we're going to explore some exploratory orienting together. And I'll simply invite you to just start to allow your gaze to travel around the room that you're in, letting your eyes move really slowly. And bring this element of curiosity into your gaze. What do your eyes want to look at in the space that you're in? What are they drawn to? And you might notice, as you're really getting curious there, all the different colors or textures that are available for your eyes to look at. And as you let your eyes travel, I also would invite you to let your head move, relaxing your jaw and actually turning your head. Because when we allow for our head to turn as we're orienting, it helps to shift our breathing pattern and it can stimulate deeper breaths. So continuing to just slowly scan your environment, looking at things close to you, and then letting your vision move to things that are further away. I invite you to try to soften your eyes. Can you imagine relaxing the muscles around your eyes? And remembering that your retinas are at the back of your eyes. They're on the back side of your eyeballs. Can you imagine that you are drawing in this information visually all the way to the backs of your eyes and just receiving it there? And maybe by now you found one thing in your space that your eyes really like to look at. And so I'll invite all of you to just pick one thing that's not the screen, that's beyond the screen, maybe something a little further away from you. And that even might be the view out of a window, a piece of art on the wall, a bowl of fruit, whatever it is that you're drawn to visually. And just practice sensing that for a moment. Can you allow the colors to just be received by your retinas and the backs of your eyes? As if you were just allowing the room to come to you visually. And as you do that, again, just lightly touch your awareness into your body and into your felt sense. And get curious about how this is treating your nervous system. These might be really subtle shifts that you notice, like a little bit slower breathing, or perhaps your shoulders feel like they can drop down a little more. Perhaps there's thoughts that are distracting from your experience. That's also just something to bring your awareness to. Oh, hello, thoughts. And then just noticing again how your eyes are feeling as they just rest, looking at something you enjoy. And then I'll invite you for maybe 3 or 4 breaths, just to let your eyes close and rest, or you can just gaze down if you prefer. But just let your eyes rest. You might wiggle a little bit in your chair, giving yourself a bit of a reset. Great. And then one more time, I'll invite you to slowly let your eyes orient back to that object, that color, that texture, that thing, whatever it is that your eyes were enjoying. And this time, I'm going to offer another exercise, which is to really help support a shift in your nervous system toward rest and digest, toward a relaxed state. And that's to start to open up your vision more to the peripheral, more to the periphery of the room. So, still just letting your eyes be soft and gazing at that object. Can you explore letting your vision open up a bit and also just notice, can you notice visually things far to your right, far to your left, in the distance behind the object that you're looking at? And just get curious about that. Again, we're not really moving our eyes here. We're just bringing that awareness to what else our eyes can notice, as opposed to just that single focal point. What else can your eyes receive? Can they open up a bit? And I'll offer an exercise here. If anyone is struggling with that shift a bit, there's an exercise you can do, which is bringing both pointer fingers together in front of you, maybe even in front of that object, and just gazing at your fingers or the object. And then keeping your gaze straight ahead at that object, start to move your fingers away out to the sides, and then wiggle your fingers. When you wiggle your fingers, you can see that movement a little better than if they were just in stillness. So can you notice the object you're looking at and your fingers wiggling? And then just rest again. Let's all allow the eyes to close or relax. Feel free to take a deeper breath, shift a little in your seat, whatever it is that you might need to find a reset there. Just taking a moment to check in with your body, check in with your felt sense, any emotions that might be present. Okay. So I'm going to offer a series of yoga eye exercises, and I will offer that if you haven't done these before, they can be kind of uncomfortable or feel kind of strange for some folks. So just move slowly, take it at your own pace. Typically, you might practice some of these exercises 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. I'm going to just offer that we do each one 5 times, and you can stop before that if it feels like you'd like to give your eyes a chance to rest. But these eye exercises are known to really strengthen our vision. They strengthen the muscles around our eyes, and they help to release a lot of tension and tightness around your eyes and your optic nerve. So, step 1 is to start to move your eyes, gaze straight up toward the ceiling. Again, we're not moving our head, just the eyes. And then move your gaze down toward the floor. And then start to move your gaze back up toward the ceiling and down toward the floor. And you can find that maybe 5 times, going at your own pace. Now, I like to start slow and then speed up if it feels comfortable. And then just let your eyes rest. We have a few of these to go through, so we're not going to do too many of them. So closing eyes is one way just to help them relax, softening around your eyes. And checking in again. How you doing with these eye exercises? Would you like to take a break? Or do your eyes feel like trying another one? And if you'd like to try another one, you can just let your eyes blink open. And now let your eyes look all the way to the right and then all the way to the left. And then continue that, looking to the right, looking to the left. Keep breathing. It's fine if you blink. And just let your eyes rest. All right. The next one we'll do, and we'll do this one in both directions. We're going to start to rotate the eyes in a clockwise motion first, and then we'll go counterclockwise. So you might look to the upper left-hand corner of your eyes, and then start to move your gaze in a clockwise motion over to the right upper corner, down to the right lower corner, and across to the left lower corner. And real slow, trying to reach all those points in that circle. And just let your eyes rest. And so you might be noticing some sensations in your eyes, in your head. That's a sign that there's just energy moving in your body. These exercises are doing something internally to your nervous system. But it's up to you to determine the quality of what's happening inside. So if it feels uncomfortable or unpleasant and too uncomfortable to just hang out with that and be curious with that, then just take rest. Otherwise, let's do one more, just moving eyes counterclockwise. Looking up to the upper right-hand corner. And then moving over to the upper left-hand corner. Down to the lower left. And over to the lower right. And just finding your own pace. And breathing. And let's rest. Let your eyes close. Let's everyone just wiggle, shift a little bit in your chair. So if anyone was feeling like, ooh, going a little into that stuck, frozen place, then just move a little bit, wiggle, shake it out. Take a long breath as you let yourself just settle against the back of your chair. And now I'll invite you all to grab your pillow or your pillows and just bring them onto your lap. You can have as many as you need because you really want your elbows to feel supported here so you're not having to hold your arms up. And really let your body relax. So if you're resting against the back of your chair, see how much you can let the chair kind of hold you so you can start to settle in your body. Now with your elbows supported by the pillow, I'm going to gently actually before we do that, let's rub our hands together. Create a little friction and a little bit of heat and some of that bioelectricity we've been talking about, moving between the hands, the palms. And then whenever you feel ready, you're going to take your hands, and instead of just hands right on your eyes, you're going to take the heels of your hands to your cheekbones, and you're going to cross one hand over your forehead and then the other over that hand. So you're not actually pushing your hands into your eyes. Instead, your hands are cupped kind of around your eyes, and there's just nice darkness there where the light from the room is mostly or completely blacked out. So letting the pillow really hold your elbows here. Let your hands really hold your head. And if it's comfortable for you, you can just close your eyes behind your hands. And spend a few moments here noticing sensations. Is there a sense of warmth from your palms moving into your face? You might notice some tingling there from rubbing your hands together and creating all that friction. Notice the quality of experience that arises in your body as you just support your eyes and allow them to completely be held and relaxed. Notice any sense of color or texture that you see behind your closed eyes, any movement, sense of shadows or light. And can you notice those colors and textures and movements as you let your eyes continue to relax? The muscles around your eyes softening, the skin between your eyebrows softening and expanding. So we'll just hang out here for a little while longer. And I'm going to walk you through coming out of this pose because there's a series of steps that we're going to take together to transition our eyes and our vision really slowly and mindfully back into the room. So take another 3 or 4 breaths here, just soaking this in, letting your eyes be supported and be warmed by your hands. And then keeping your hands over your eyes, start to blink your eyelids open and blink, 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 maybe 10, 12 times. Hands still protecting. And then just start to notice the shifts. Maybe a little bit more light is coming in with your eyes open behind your palms. Can you keep your eyes soft and relaxed? Sensing that warmth in the backs of your eyes. And still keeping your palms where they are. And start to separate your fingers just a little bit, creating some space between your fingers to allow a little more light to creep in. Taking a breath, just transitioning slowly. Now I'll invite you to keep your gaze down, eyes open, but gaze down at your lap. And really taking your time, start to move your hands further off your eyes. Maybe adding in one more step there, covering up just half your eyes before releasing your hands back down onto your lap. Now keep your gaze down, your eyes staying soft. Just sensing your body relaxing against your chair. And as you are ready, I'll invite you to begin exploratory orienting one more time. But seeing if you can keep your eyes soft and relaxed. And just receiving the colors and the light and the textures from the back sides of your eyes. Can you just allow the room to come to you as you slowly turn your head and take in your space? And simply notice the quality of this experience internally in your body. How is it for your nervous system to take in visual information from this place? And as you're ready, you can start to let your movement or your gaze come back to the screen. And But before we end, I will just offer that I moved relatively quickly again through these exercises because I just want you to have some tools that you can play with on your own. So if any of these stuck out to you as something that made some kind of a difference or felt better in your body after you did the exercise, then I invite you to play with it again and again on your own. This visual orienting away from the computer screen is one of the best things you can do for your vision. So if any of you are spending more time than usual on screens lately, give yourself a break, even if just for a few seconds from the screen, as often as you can remember. Let your eyes lift and move to something far away beyond the computer screen. Open up your vision to the periphery of the room. And then when you're ready, let your eyes come back to the screen. And all that does, it only takes a few seconds, but it offers this little reset for your nervous system, and it helps you to become a lot more present in that moment. So that's all I have for you all today. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm going to stop the recording now and give you all the option if you want to unmute and say hi to each other. You can do that now.